Um, my family, we were from a very small town. And at that point in time, it was a logging island. There wasn't a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I was born in a town with no stoplights.
Oh,
And the house that we lived in when I was born was just a shack.
okay.
It literally, my parents had bought it out in the woods. And my dad was a bricklayer.
Nice.
It's very Canadian.
Yeah,
Very
very
this is
Canadian.
Canadian
It was like
shit.
he was either doing that or making maple syrup.
Look.
Like
My dad did logging and shit.
Yeah.
He cut off a part of his arm with a chainsaw off in a tree and shit.
Okay.
We're Canadian as fuck.
Right.
But growing up there, it's magical, right? We were Canadian poor, which is very different than American poor.
Okay.
The island I'm from is just resources. Food grows beautifully on the island.
Mhm.
It's old growth forest, First Nations land. You grow up respecting the land. You can go anywhere and there's farms all over the place, and you get access to the most incredible food. You can the old island highway that goes up the island I'm from. There's butcher shops, there's bakeries, there's florists, there's cheesemongers, there's anything you can need, and you're just paying half of the price that we pay here for incredible quality food. So you just grow up there learning to make, to cook, to bake, to create. And so that's where I was born.
Which reminds me a lot of the islands, because I'm being West Indian.
Yeah. It's,
regardless of where they're located, the island's an island. So being in, spending the summers in Jamaica growing up and then spending Christmas in the Bahamas, it's a situation where it's you went down to the bread store, you went down to the bakery, you went to the butcher shop, and then your grandmother, aunt, whomever, took all of these fresh foods that they went and picked up that day, or they went back into the garden and harvested it that day. Yeah. And then that was dinner.
Yeah.
Right. Just fresh foods all the time.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times we had potatoes that my grandmother would pick out of the backyard, that new potatoes.
Yeah.
She'd boil down with mint that she grew in the yard. You go and you wanted to make a pie. Okay, you go pick rhubarb that grows there.
Right.
It is such a rich land of just so many wonderful things that it's just such a different experience than the American experience, I think, growing up. We made fairy houses in the fucking forest.
Yeah.
It was magical. But then I discovered meth.
Right.
So my mom and dad got divorced when I was really young, and my mom ended up marrying a gentleman named Paul, who's my stepdad.
Okay, gotcha.
And him and I just never got along. Ironically, he was a bodybuilder in the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
And he was on steroids and stuff.
Okay.
And so he was so hairy too. Yeah. I just remember he was big and muscular and 90s hairy, Magnum PI hairy. You're a level of furriness.
Oh,
yeah. Just nope. The 90s were not weird time.
Right.
But he was an asshole. And now looking back, I don't actually know what compounds he was taking at that time, because there's no way my mom's going to know hey, what anabolic compounds was Paul taking in the 90s? But now knowing what I know about steroids, I'm oh, so a lot of that amplification of his personality would be main character syndrome. Because one of the big side effects of steroids is main character syndrome.
Correct.
So that started really amplifying, and he got more and more emotionally and verbally abusive, and just just turned into a 90s asshole bully.
Yeah.
And so I was how I always have been in my life, been this doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I'm out.
So I got in a lot of trouble at school. I got arrested for mischief, vandalism, assault with a deadly weapon. I stabbed a girl with a pencil.
I have a friend who stabbed a kid with a pencil. He got banned off of every bus in Pasco County.
I also stabbed my sister with a sharpened pencil because she was being a dick. I see you, Talia. She'll never let me live that down. But yeah, so I was just fuck this. So I moved with my dad and my stepmom to Vancouver.
Okay.
And I went to a very nice school in a nice expensive area, but we didn't live in a nice expensive house.